Well, hello people, and welcome back to another episode of City Showcase. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we are looking at the 25 tower build of Lavender City by Davey, a stunning photorealistic city inspired by Los Angeles, New York City, and indeed, even Imperator, which speaks volumes of how good Imperator is, doesn't it, when he's up there with LA and New York as city's inspiration. Davey has also included a transit map of his city, so you know this is a serious build. Absolutely love receiving a transit map with a submission. But either way, let's take a look around this photorealistic, stunning build, shall we? Very much looking forward to this one. So with this being a 25 tower build, where indeed do we start? There's some really interesting interchanges, and the road network through here is absolutely gorgeous. But where do we get stuck into? Let's go to the edge of the map, we'll work our way around, and then come to finishing the CBD. We'll kind of do a big spiral, I think. So let's head over here toward the edge of the map. I'm not sure what the map is, he didn't mention it in the submission, so if anyone knows what map this is, please do leave it in the comments below. I'm sure people will always be interested. But we arrive at a massive ore pit. Look at this, isn't this wonderful? And these teeth excavators being used correctly too. They're used for, you know, sifting through all the blast materials, I think, aren't they, rather than actually destroying the hill itself. But very nice indeed. This is a really nice area. He's also got some of the vanilla zonings in here as well, of course, contributing to his raw materials economy. Very nice indeed. And then there's also little towns out here as well. Great interchange work. This is, of course, a modded save. There's various bits of node controller you'll notice at playthrough here, with some really nice intersections. Do want to be careful of this. That's a very small segment, but it's obviously no problem, is there? Let's have a look at the traffic flow as well while we're here. 82%, not bad at all for 107,000 people with the mods. Very tasty. Beyond this, we have some barracks and some warehouses, and then a tunnel heading under the rotary kiln. Isn't that really nice? Great use of that asset there, just sat up on the hill. I really love the view back to the open pit mine as well. Very tasty. Car factory tucked in alongside the highway. Always great orientation, isn't it? Driving past these monstrous industrial facilities on the highway. Really like how you position that. This falls into a vanilla cargo airport, which is a really nice combination. I like what you've done with these. You've got the pathways between the runways to just kind of create some more taxiway space. But it feels like it's been years since I've seen this asset. Yeah, Sheffield Cargo Terminal 2. But very nice indeed. I really like it. Cute little airfield. The only problem with these sort of non-airport DLC things is the runways are so short, aren't they? Right. They're really small. But it's fine. That's nothing that can be helped. And then this industry peels off into more electronics factories with residential around here as well. With just a bit of a preview as to some of the networking work that Davey has done around the city. All very nice indeed, isn't it? This interchange too. All perfectly layered. Train police. Might be a little bit triggered. We won't show that bit though, that's okay, that's fine. But a really nice build nonetheless. Very nice little combination of industry with airports, a couple of factories, and industries area there. Very nice indeed. And beyond this, we'll head over this way. I think let's follow the interchange down where we arrive at some fishing. There's some rail yard and oil action happening through here as well. The covered train line with the pathways. I can see the Imperator inspiration here. Iconic, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful. And then I love what you've done with this here, where you've kind of set the oil stuff to be part of the sunken track foundation there. It kind of looks like a retaining wall, doesn't it, at that angle? Very, very nice. Never seen that before. This goes off into more industry. There's also a cargo train terminal here as well, but look at that. Immaculate rail work through there, isn't there? Isn't that wonderful to see? Heading off into the city there. With a wonderful view to the skyline where you can also see the Cathedral Plentitude. Hard asset to use, that one. We'll see what you've done with it shortly. But then a couple of more factories in here, waste disposal unit, and it's all just very tasteful, isn't it? It's really nicely angled, put together. Really well done. The look is really nice. It's a photorealistic look, I believe it's called. I'll tell you what, I'll show you it in Theme Mixer, because I know everyone's going to ask. It is the photorealistic look final by Reaper, is the look correction he's using to sustain this visual here. There was also a relight preset, but relight's outdated now, so I'm using Lumina just to boost a bit of the contrast and saturation. We've also got oil drilling rig over here. And then there's an island, which is very cool. Do we have a name here? Is this supposed to be something? Lilac Island. Very nice indeed. Which is using the unit building. It's also self-sufficient as well. He must have... Does he have garbage here? There's death care. But I can't see a garbage building. But yeah, it's a little self-sufficient island. There's ferries here taking people back and to the mainland, which is very nice. Also got the fishing harbour integrated in there as well, which is cute, isn't it? Another bit of a high-rise downtown over here as well, which we'll get to. Jumping back to the industry, the oil area finishes off around here. A little bit of import going on there at the moment. And then all this just spills back up to those cargo train terminals. Wonderful. Another great position of a factory there, isn't there? I think Davy's winning the fight for amazingly positioned highway side factories. I really like that. That's super sweet. Very nice. Just kind of sits on top of the bank there, doesn't it? Everything's sunken down. Very nice. It's the little things that impress me, you know? I really like stuff like that. And then coming out this way, we'll follow around the foot of these mountains over here where we arrive at what is a wonderful little prison complex. I really like that. Several prisons in here. With the basketball courts, carports also as part of the prison facility as well. Even the outer fence is getting used actually, which is very sweet. Are they even avoiding the building there? Kind of looks like they are, aren't they? They are. Are they prisoners? Are they part of the facility? Or are they guards? I'm not sure where it goes. I guess it goes to the main entrance, so it's just like a perimeter fence, right? But an active perimeter fence, which is very cute to see. I like the thought behind that. Prison facility into another factory where we come into another airport. And goodness gracious, I miss this Sunset Harbour airport. We never use it anymore, do we? Because the airport's DLC exists now, but god, I love this asset. From Sunset Harbour, this airport, if you don't know. I haven't used it for... When was the last airport it would have been in? Was it in Navarious before we rebuilt it? Because Newbie Oak had a custom airports DLC, wasn't it? So it has been years since we used it. But helicopters also in play here as well. And a bit of oil facility around here too, which has been blended in definitely as kind of airport fuel, hasn't it? Very nice. Lovely little vanilla asset, or I guess official asset airport complex there. Plenty of parking out the front as well. Love to see that with an airport. Indeed, the helicopter depot even here as well. Next, some wonderful highway work through here, which will catch while we're over here. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that great? He did say in his submission that the road and rail networks been immaculately put together, and they have been, haven't they? Really, really sweet. We've got interchanges that are... I guess it's just a stack, isn't it? But really nice work, especially with this train action coming underneath as well. And then sweeping up into some sort of mega central train station. I love this big, thick belt of train lines cutting right through the city there. That's very realistic. I love that. There's also a monorail passing through here as well as we head further down the highway. We'll check this bit out as part of the CBD, which looks... Oh, very interesting. What I get stuck in there. Let's keep following the highway though. So coming to a bit of seaside resort. Oh no, this isn't seaside resorts, is it? It's just regular vanilla. With some campus assets in here as well. A little bit of a zoo / nature reserve park over here, which is quite tasty. Got a birdhouse in there. A couple of zoo assets too. It's a really nice little use of green space there. It's kind of really packed in, isn't it? Very cute indeed. And then this goes to the Garden of Eden. Or the Eden Project, not the Garden of Eden. Which is coupled with a waste cycling centre that also has a sewage outlet fused into the back of it, which very much makes it look like part of the asset, doesn't it? He's even put the pipe in there as well. That is wonderful detailing, Davey. Very nice. And then there's lots of park assets through here. And then that finishes the map off that way, doesn't it? Does indeed. Heading back over here, we have a bit of Brooklyn and Queens. Great waste of nodes. Building up the fencing like that, incredible. Amazing. Love to see node wastage for people detailing. Makes me happy. And is that prop detailing or is that part of the asset? I actually can't remember. Part of the asset, yeah. But really nice. Very nice indeed. Brooklyn and Queens sits next door to this. As we then head down the coastline with wonderful views to the skyline, of course, from here. We got a metro station. Let's check how busy this one is. 149. But really nice views from this metro station and suburb. I've also just noticed this. Yes, please, Davey. Little custom playground in the middle of some residential. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Although, F in the chat for the kids that are sliding out onto solid tiles. That's fine though. I love the little detail like that in the neighbourhood. Very nice. Coming up here, we can see an embanked highway that tunnels through the hillside. That's coming out from this one over here. With some very nice little slip ramps. Very nice indeed. Got some childcare over here. With some... The financial districts it is, isn't it? You know what? I always forget about this DLC. Every time I do an episode of Rannoch, there's always at least one person that says, Egg, why haven't you used the financial districts DLC? I forget it exists for 90% of the time. But that's a really nice building, isn't it? Much better level 1 these things, I think. So over here as well. This is when I start to not agree with them. When they get glass towers plonked upon a very old stone building. I hate them. That's why I don't use them. But that one, to its advantage, is quite nice. Beyond that, we have some pitches and bridges over here as well as we leave into what is definitely the first of the business districts we'll come into here. More on the corner with some very nicely placed shopping, has to be said. Grand library, cricket pitches all at the foot of the skyline here. Very nice indeed. We've got some wonderful towers, of course, all skyscraper stuff as well. Shout out to the skyscrapers pack. One of the best things the game ever received, and we're all building on a gradient here as well. Look at this couplet system that comes under the metro station here. Goodness me, isn't that a great view? Isn't that a great view? Love that. So under here, there's car parts. I guess that's just, yeah, that's a really small segment. What you could do here is actually use node controller to have all of these roads connecting to just one node rather than two. We've done something similar in Ilos and Thessia before. But with the main tools like this, you can get some stuck sims sometimes that causes your simulation to essentially die. So it's something to be careful of when you're playing with nodes that are that tight together. But regardless, it's not a criticism, just something to bear in mind if you're looking for inspiration here. But look at that sightline up to the European unique. Yes, please. Love the pedestrianisation here. I love that as well. A little horseshoe pedestrian area. Very creative. With green cities, office space through here. There's lots of mixed zoning. There's commercial next to office, next to residential. It's not just blocks of one particular type, is it? But in around the towers here, love the little cutaway there for one of the main towers. Don't know if we're missing maybe some concrete here, if this was intended. Surface painter is active, so it should have carried over if it was surface painted. And more towers over this way. Great interchange to factor your highway into the downtown there, isn't it? Wonderfully layered. Very nice, classic T interchange there. Lovely stuff. Very nice indeed. This comes down towards the cathedral, which is placed in its own park with seaside resorts, a little bit of fencing through here, some tents nearby as well. People camping in the foot of the grounds. And then we come over here to a much wider industrial space where we have transport depots, residential, that big train corridor runs through here as well, doesn't it, into that central station. So we've got some trains arriving. Let's see if we can pick out some people walking. Not overly busy. It's not the central station there, so maybe we'll find some walking porn elsewhere. And then over here we have more industry, factories. I really love how you've used the generic industry here. You managed to create some very nice looking industrial yards. Like, you're going to take that as a bit of a screenshot there. Is this zoned? Let's have a look. It is zoned. Which is even better. Very nice, Davey. Love what you've done with that. Very cute. All this warehouses sit in front of the modular house factory. Is this one? Yep, it is. Modular homes. Which is very nice here. Some park areas alongside it. And the elevated metro that we saw in the previous town cutting right through the middle of the towers there, which is very tasteful indeed. Really nice. Let's check out all the bridges here. We can see more ferry action on this bit of the waterfront. But I'm more interested in these bridges. Very nice. Got the highway bridge with the monorail running through it. Does the monorail squeeze through that? Oh, we're about to find out. Just about. Well, no, not really. But that's fine. I'm not one to judge. I am not the monorail police. But I love the design there. Squeezing the monorail through the suspension arches. Very nice. Very cool. Very Teddy Radko, that, isn't it? Multiple bridges over here as well. Metro and road. And then another dual train metro there. Sorry, dual train bridge. It's so good. I always love seeing multiple different types of bridges cross over a waterway. something just kind of tickles my infrastructure fancy, if you know what I mean. I really like it. This peels down into an absolutely wonderfully complicated train intersection. I can't really fathom what's going on here, but goodness me, isn't that wonderful? Great work there. Absolutely fantastic. Super nice. And that goes off to more outside connections, I believe. Don't think we're missing anything down here. No, outside connection. And outside connection. Yep, that's fine. We come onto this big bridge which has been built. Custom. It's custom one. Yes, please. I wonder if this had to have been inspired by Teddy's bridge, right? It had to have been, surely. But in Thessia, the arch bridge we've got over there, so he's used the monorail lines, or the monorail rails, I suppose, to formulate the suspension arches of a bridge. Very Teddy Radko for those that have seen Thessia. But you've done it wonderfully there. I really like how you've done that. You've even got the little arch in the bridge as well. Very, very nice, Davey. I really like that. Super cool, my friend. Beyond this, we come into a next major town with the highway cutting right through. There's, again, more really nicely zoned in industry here. You've got a talent for this, Davey, making the zoned industry look really nicely blended in. Although the Seaside Resorts inclusion there is, that's the fire station, isn't it, I think? I think it is. Let me check. It is the fire station, yeah. So that's fine, I suppose, if it's a fire station. And then through here, some great wasteland detailing. Look at that. Again, it's all using vanilla assets, that, isn't it? This is all official assets just with Find It. Like, that's what I mean. Like, wouldn't it be great if we could do this unmodded? Like, just give us these assets. Like, they're already in the game. Why are they locked off? But really nice wasteland detailing there. Great stuff. Really nice. Following this waterfront, we have some green cities, Brooklyn and Queens residential through here. Nice kind of mid-rise tower district. We've got a tram cutting right through the centre here, flanked by pathways. Love seeing stuff like that. The casino is over here with a very nice design, using node-controlled pathways. It's actually widening them at the end there, which is really creative. I really like that. Riding stables at the back of that, and then we come into mass amounts of raw material farm production here, actually, which is very nice. I like how you've done this. And it's especially the farming stuff, I would say, is the most difficult of the base game industries to use. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe I've never seen it kind of bulk zoned like this before, but I do like it. It is nice. I don't know why I'm enjoying it so much. Even a little house in there as well to represent the farmhouse, I suppose. Some cows next door. You know, for base game industry, that's not horrendous, that is it? It's not horrendous. Very nice. Church through here was this farm industry leeches onto some of the sheep spawners for some custom livestock fields here, which is very creative. So we've got some cows down here as well. We do indeed. Some of the longhorns. Very nice. 2 cargo stations over here, which are both being loaded up. Another very small segment there again as well. You could have done that in one node, I think. And then over here, we've got train line cutting right through the middle of town. There's that tram station we saw earlier too. Which is really nicely integrated into the town. I like how you've got this tram line with pathways kind of, almost kind of looks like the main arterial through the town, doesn't it? It's based on walking and public transport, which is a good approach, really. And then over here we have train stations and with pitches. There's a driving range over here as well, lots of recreation. Again, all just tastefully put together, really nicely angled there. I just want to check, is all this zoned in? Yeah, he's done all the little 1x1 and different shape zonings here to get them in. Very nice, probably some of the best zoning I think we've seen in City Showcase so far, Davey. It's something I'm very much enjoying. Oh, look at that view as well. Isn't that fantastic? Back to that wider cityscape. Love that. I'm glad we stumbled upon that little sightline there. You can even see the bridge there too. Absolutely delicious. Train station entrance is lovely. Lots of people walking in and out of the station there as well. That then goes off to the inner city line over there. And that, I'm guessing, is another outside connection. It is indeed. We'll check out this over here, which is a pathway heading up to Caldera, because it is the Belmont Volcano Geological Park. Very nice indeed. Which apparently is the mid-century modern district. Really nice way to factor in some natural sort of features of the map, the landscape, if you like. I'm not sure if this was here or if you terraformed this. Again, I'm not familiar with the map, but I love the idea of a volcano being factored in. And then again, another fine viewpoint from here across this rural farming town out this way. See the trams, lots of highway traffic, very nice indeed. I've also got the hotel here as well. I love your intersections, really nice. See this type of stuff all over the city. This is very cute as well. I love the doubled up flower and fountain plazas, really nice. I've also got campus assets integrated in here as well with the school stuff. There's more. That's a forestry building, isn't it, I think? No, it's not. It's the futsal club from campus. That looks like a forestry building, but it's not. It's futsal, so that's fine. And then this big, huge farming district wraps up to a single point urban interchange, which again has been very, very nicely done. Look at that. Great traffic as well. We've got some little details tucked in there as well. Isn't that fabulous? Love stumbling across little bits of prop work like that that the city builder has put in. Great stuff. And beyond this highway, we have some more infrastructure the opposite side. I think we've got a bit of a waterfront industrial area. Looks like sewage and garbage processing here. Again, with those vanilla destroyed decals, doesn't that add a lot? Really, I need to start using those more in Rannoch, really, those destroyed ones. They're very nice. And then over here, again, more of it. Look at that. Look at that, Davey. Very nice, my friend. I really like that. I love seeing these hidden with official assets. I know the Steam Workshop is an absolute treasure trove of whatever asset or prop or building or vehicle you want, but when people make do with official assets, I think I appreciate it a little bit more. This is great work. I love what you've done with all this stuff here. Very nice. Over here, we have a bit of a zoo. We'll come around this to the other side. Another really nice intersection there as well. Before we head through this way, we've got another bridge coming. Great to see the trains passing through the towns. Really nice. Great little unbanked pedestrian district there. He's used node controller to narrow the pedestrian roads, making them just much smaller. The great viewpoint across this farming town over here as well. More diners, more pitches, more schools. All tucked into this infrastructure, and a very nice use of the hillside there as well. No mental gradients or designs. I'm happy with that. More farming industry through here. That then spills into this area where we have some really nice bridge action. Look at that. I like how I've used the American Truss arches there. Very tasteful. Down this way, we have more residential designs. Really sweet. Loving all this forestry through here. Again, where he's using raw material production factored into that. Also some residential right in the forestry area too. Which is not something I see super often. And then over here, just more service industry, residential peeling into waste processing. He's using pollution solutions, so if you're wondering about death, people would die normally, but pollution solutions on which removes all ground and water pollution. So that'll be why. But this is really nice. Tasteful integration of the raw material production again too. Forestry over here. Very sweet. And this takes us to a wind farm, which then loops around on some nice little island bridges. And we're starting to head into some different areas over here. So let's wrap up this little peninsula this way. A really interesting highway intersection there. Just different slip ramps coming off. Very sweet. I love what you've done with the power lines there. Great way to kill some nodes. Is the dual network power lines with the dirt path kind of boxing them in. That's a really nice design. I like that. It highlights the energy infrastructure of the city, which I think is quite a nice thing to do. I do like, in most cases, trying to use power lines against the highway. I think it's nice to see, the infrastructure that makes the city tick. Very workers and resources, isn't it? And more great prop work out the front of his coal plant over here as well. I really like that. Classic node controller to make a cul-de-sac action there as well. Lovely stuff. And more forestry through here with bigger imports. He's also used a little bit of road there. And then put some extra props on them with anarchy. That's very creative. Probably the most creative use of an industrial road I've seen, actually. Those little row of, I guess, bollards, cones, whatever you want to call them, between the containers make a difference. Very tasty. Very nice. And that's next to a cargo station, which is next to another monstrous forestry area. That then turns into more mining area. Love this. I love the hillside saplings. Such a great aesthetic, that, isn't it? That viewpoint right there is one of my favourites so far. Really, really like that. Almost pass it off as kind of vineyard or kind of apple orchard vibes, can't you, when it's set like this? Very cute. We also missed a bit of an amusement park over here by the coast as well. Marinas atop. Elevated pathways. We've got vlog flumes in here too. And yeah, really nice, really cute. More hillside community up this way. With European suburbia. And a ton of forestry workers barracks in here too. Which blends very nicely, doesn't it? I have to commend that. That's a great combination, European suburbia and forestry barracks. A difficult one to discover that as well. Another little mining pit over here. Very nice indeed. And then we also see another stop on the wider central river ferry network. You can see them moving all up and down here as well. This dirt road takes us all the way around to an intersection that crosses over the bridge. And then I'm guessing this is bringing us back to that park that we saw earlier with the elevated train and the nice intersection. Atop the hill, we've got some car parking, hotels, and zoo assets up here too. And I don't think there's anything atop the hill itself. No, there is not. Just natural landscape. I feel like I do recognise the map. Is it one of I feel like it might be one of Bringer of Fire's maps. I feel like I have maybe seen it in the Discord at some point. Or not, there'll be a comment below anyway. Moving over to the east edge of the map, we come across the Space Center, which is always a difficult asset to use, isn't it? But it's blended it in with car parking, rocket fuel storage over here with the oil, and then some basic services just to help embellish the kind of space age vibe, right? But nice use this. I love the road going underneath the Chirpex building. Very nice. Across the hill, we have the nightlife vanilla airport, which is right out here on its own. Which actually the bridge or the road connection comes under the airport and then emerges out into a little roundabout here. It's a really creative entrance. I like what you've done there. But again, not an asset we see very often anymore, is it? There's keys blended into this as well. With a good chunk of your passengers, actually. Where are you all going? Is the public transport here? Yeah, train station, right, I'm guessing. Yeah, there you go. So that's really nice. All that traffic, and I don't think we saw a single pocket car there, did we? I think we're all taking the train in and out of here. So that's very good. Nice elevated runway over here as well. Which then brings us on this bridge that takes us back into civilization, where we'll check some of this stuff out, and then we'll head on to the bulk of the build. There's also an island over here as well. I think we'll pick up the downtown and sweep along the beach and then cover all this stuff over here. Let's get a bit of a grander perspective here. We'll start on the edge where we have a European district mixed in with some fields. Is this supposed to be something in particular? Do we have a district name? Island Mountain Resort, so hotels, I'm guessing, right? Luxury hotels. Don't know why I pronounced luxury like that. Luxury. Never said that before. Was that very tasteful? So this is using all of the what is that? Is that Mountain Resort? It is, yeah. Hotel Alps, which is a gorgeous asset, isn't it? So yeah, big mountain resort stuff here blended in with European suburbia. I don't know if Navaria inspired this. We did something pretty similar in Navaria, of course, when the Mountain Resorts pack came out. It looks very similar, but again, I hope it is inspired. I always like to see my own ideas translate into a city showcase. It's fun to... That's a big reason why I make CS videos, you know, is to inspire and give people ideas. So I love to see something I've done appear. More hotel resorts over here as well before we head down onto a wonderful looking beach. This is very nice. It's all wild. There's some natural ruins over here as well. Well, not natural, but old ruins that came with the map, I'm guessing. And then this is an outside connection, is it? Oh no, it's not. No, that's the mountain road. There's more of it over here as well. Lots more mountain resort assets. Very nice. Metro station over here as well. And then we pick up that road that heads over to the airport with the train station also over here as well. Not a majorly busy station over this side. Crossing over the highway again, just more really nicely designed intersections, aren't they? Really, really sweet. Love what you're doing with your road networks here. More simple slip ramps as well, but again, working an absolute treat for the traffic flow, isn't it? really nice. We've got the brand unique monument recycling centre here as well, and banked on some key work. Very tasteful indeed. They've also got some train stuff over this way. Brooklyn and Queens industry all tucked in as this coastal development also kicks into play as well. We've got some basic park props here. Is that elevated zoo path? Yes, it is. My elevated zoo path senses are pinging. But really nice little beachfront. Nice roundabouts through here as well, with there this industry was. All coming through. Let's look at all the road networks. Really nice, isn't it? You've done an excellent job of all the networks through here. And on top of that, a lot of the buildings around it seem to be zoned, which is just, yeah, really nice. I like the way you put the city together. Botanical garden also spinning out onto the back of the beach as well. I'm guessing that's been anarchied through the building, has it? So they can walk through. Very nice. Love to see stuff like that. And then we've got the locomotive halls opposite a train station. Again, with more of that fine rail infrastructure coming right through the middle of the city. As we head along this way, the beach continues to develop in the same fashion. We've got some... But that's an asset. That's the Modern Technology Institute, isn't it? The Green Cities University. It is. I have not seen that asset since... Halavan was the last time we used that. It's a gorgeous building. But it's just a shame it absolutely smashes your education values because it provides so much. So if you place this, you basically don't need a campus area. So don't tend to see it very often, but it's a beautiful asset, really nice. And it makes a nice town centre feature around here, doesn't it, with nightlife? There's this wonderful little park plaza there as well. Have you even integrated an abandoned rail line through there as well, with pathway over the top? Where's this going? Where are you going? Over here. To a train. Is that an active train line? We'll cover this in a second, the space elevator. No, it's not. I'm guessing this is meant to be kind of like an old abandoned railway, right? Because it's now a pathway. Has to be, surely. I love that though. That's like a real sense of history for the town, isn't it? You know, old abandoned railway's been converted into a pathway now. Very creative, I like that. I've also got this asset which I absolutely love and literally never use. It's the tram metro station, isn't it? That came in that update. Beautiful station, this one. I've always wanted to double this up, put it back to back to expand its footprint. Really cute. It's also got underground metro hooked in there as well. Let's have a look at the ridership. We are hopping on 245, not bad at all. Tasty. Really like the town centre, cricket pitch, nightlife. Transit and education assets. Really fun little town centre, that one. And the beach continues with lots of elevated zoo path. Wonderful. The zoo assets down here as well. And then that wraps around up to an area which we'll check out after we check out the island, the space elevator over here. Which is really interesting, isn't it? So let's have a look what's happening here. So the space elevator, I think, is turned off, isn't it? It is turned off. As is the station. Also with the public library over here as well. I'm not sure if this is meant to be something in particular with the library there, but I really like what you did with the CS2 curator libraries as you kind of fuse them into the space elevator. That's a very creative little design, isn't it? Very symmetric. Either way, nice way to use. Definitely one of the more difficult monuments there, isn't it? Heading into this way, we'll check out some mad interchange work. Look at this, isn't that stunning? Really, really nice. Multiple layers of train and road all interweaving and crisscrossing each other. Simply wonderful. We've also got some fake supports in here as well with... Oh, would you look at that? That's so creative. He's used the pillars with the monorail tracks to create supports and build a custom bridge. Incredible. Very, 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 very nice. Really like that. Super creative. A massive interchange then splits off into a bit of a CBD over here, where we have a stadium. Again, love seeing Bad Peanut stadiums at work in these kind of areas. Brooklyn and Queens nightlife underground metro also through here as well. Before we come into our massive central terminus over here. Look at this, isn't this fabulous? Let's take a look around here, shall we? So first of all, how much love for this big central terminus with the design. It's embanked upon quays with a massive interchange next to it. Love what you've done here. Oh, and you also put stair keys at the front. Goodness gracious. Love it. Absolutely love it. So you got this big grand staircase coming into the central terminal. I love this building. We've had it in the last couple of city showcases. I think the last 3 have all used this asset, haven't they? So I'm very happy. Although it's quite quiet. There's a ton of ridership through here. Have a look. Yeah, only 195, so definitely one of the more quiet stations. But then let's follow this road into the downtown, right? Love what you've done with the central roundabout, with the trees and the paths and the bushes there. Really sweet. In amongst several unique buildings, so we have service and services here, skyscrapers, the business arch, the business park as it's called, isn't it? With the Lux Hotel opposite an absolutely wonderful custom bridge again. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Using the monorail. Just again, that's the 3rd custom bridge we've seen. I love it, Davey. Absolutely love it, mate. That's such a creative use of assets there. Over here, really nice inner city park detailing with an unusual combination of assets here. What have we got? We've got water wall, hotels, financial districts. We've also got Brooklyn and Queens over here as well with water wall. So a real mix of different styles you've got going on here. Nice little central dual fountain plaza with the glass plaza is always a favourite. I love these assets from plazas and promenades. With the, is that the stadium or the opera house? I think it's the stadium, isn't it? It is, yeah. Which I've never noticed that very low resolution football pitch inside, actually. Never noticed that. But again, I never use this asset either, the vanilla base game stadium these days. But I love the business arch there. Business park, sorry, is what it's called, isn't it? I don't know why I'm calling it the business arch. But really sweet, very nice position here. I love this little kind of mid-town here. Which then brings us into the wider city space, crossing these networks into what is the major CBD district over here. So we'll check out the island first, and then we'll loop around and catch all this stuff as we explore the meat and potatoes of the CBD. So let's check out what's happening here. We have Cayo Perico, which is just a regular area here. Let's check this out. So it looks like a self-sufficient island. There's no road connections here. We have ferries. There's also... Is that the ore drilling rig thing? No, it's the energy conversion plant. Again, an asset I never use. But over here we have lots of mid-century modern. There's even a little custom festival ground up here as well. I love that. Very nice. Really creative use of those assets again, isn't it? Actually, what? This isn't custom, is it? This is an asset. What is this? Hot air balloon tours. There we go. Well, it looks like that, doesn't it? You could almost repurpose that into as like part of a festival area, couldn't you? Really nice. Over here there is another one next door. There was a little custom airfield as well, using the is that just a regular cargo airport? Is that fused in? Again, I feel like I'm not. I have no memory of this place, you know. It's it's just yeah, I feel like I've not seen that asset for a long time. Aviation Club over here as well, making a bit of a mini airport island complex for the island over here. And then have mid-century modern coming onto a big beachfront, which has some seaside resorts assets here. A lot of these 2x2 vanilla housings, which is again an interesting combination to go with you using mid-century modern stuff. See a plane coming into land there. Very cool. Oh, that was a great sightline, wasn't it? Quite happy we caught that plane. Then up here, atop the hill, kind of coming back to this starting town here, we've got a nice, what I'm going to assume is a golf course. Love to see a golf course here. Very sweet indeed. It's like it's used surface painter there to create the sand traps. And then we've got gazebos. A few tents on here as well. Flamingo enclosure. Very nice little golf park space there. With the Ferris wheel in a nice kind of path design. All looking out across the statue of Colossus, which has supreme views. I love that you can see that bridge over there, that custom bridge with multiple skylines. There's another Ferris wheel over there as well. Look at that for a viewpoint, everyone. Isn't that gorgeous? Super nice. Really sweet. Then up here, we can all see Of course, the Castle Churchwick building here, which is tucked in with a spa hotel, car parking, commercial. Seaside Resort. There's a bit of a headland here for... Well, I'm guessing it's a bit of a touristy sort of island, right? A bit of a luxurious tourist island. It's a nice way to use the landmass here. I can't see any garbage assets. There must be some, surely. So, of course, if it's self-sufficient, you need death care and garbage collection up here for it to work. But I'm sure there is. Either way, no one's complaining. But really nice use of the landmass there, Davey. Very, very sweet indeed. This will then take us along the beachfront, where we'll stop in at this area over here first. So we're back over where we saw this little sort of private pedestrianised island. And we'll take a look here, right? So we'll come from this big interchange that we checked out at the start of the video. We have toll booths coming into this big interchange trumpet system here. Very sweet. There's even more over here as well, kind of like a... I guess it's kind of a 3/4 clover and quarter stack, isn't it? I suppose. But nice little interchange there. The clover is actually working here, surprisingly enough. Another golf course here tucked around the highway that tunnels under the city. To come out just a little bit further down there. We've got a metro over here as well, which is embanked upon quays there. That's a really nice use of quays there to hold the metro line. Super nice. A lot of outer line suburbia this way. Fish markets. Love the roundabout here again as well. Nicely detailed. Across the highway we've got a big port structure. We've also got the Science Museum. One of the plazas and promenades, unique buildings. Statue of Wealth or shopping, that one, isn't it, next to the stadium? I really like this plaza space. Also tucked in some amusement park attractions next to the stadium. That's a very nice combination. I like that. You can also see tram pedestrian road here as well. We can also see the pedestrian covered roads, classic Imperator. Again, I can see the Imperator inspiration there. And we also have a maze that is built out. That's not network fencing, is it? There's no way. It is. It is network fencing. Absolute node killer, goodness me. But it's very cute, isn't it? Love the little maze here. Great way to use some park assets up. And nice designs as well, with the paths at the front of the city hall there. And that all comes down into one of the campus uniques that makes up part of the skyline, which we'll check out. And then we have a big soft paper factory here as part of the port. Power plants, cargo stations, oil storage and processing. Nice little cargo hub here. And this spills into some park space, more residential, where we can see a recessed train line featuring as part of the infrastructure. That's coming out of the port itself, is it? Where does this go? This goes sunken all the way up into sunken stations and configurations over here. Right, where we have office space. There's a nice little Christmas market set up here with the Lodge Hotel. That's a nice combination there, isn't it? I like that. And then this comes down onto a beach where there's lots of residential along the waterfront. A bit of a smaller forestry setup here, with a couple of port plants. Another factory with the wood vision. More raw material processing there as well. And that takes us into the European district, which we'll loop around and check out this stuff before we head over that direction. Again, just more immaculate network designs, right? Everything just fits in. Nothing feels kind of out of place or forced in as an afterthought, does it? It very much feels like a kind of proper planned city. I'm really liking it. But over here, nice big forestry area atop the hill. That peels back into that forestry area we were just looking at a moment ago. Plenty more vibes we've seen before with all this raw industry processing. And then we come into a bit of a major sort of mid-rise, high-rise district again, don't we? More museums and pictures down this way. We've got the Blimp Depot as part of a downtown. First time I've ever seen that one, has to be said. Is the blimps in the city? Where are they? Can you see them? Probably somewhere. They have to be. Is that one? No, it's hot air balloons, isn't it? Maybe they're not active then. Or maybe they've crashed into a building. But yeah, I've never seen that before. In amongst that, we have little plazas in this space, parking. Some nice little parking roads there as well that you've done. Very tasteful. Like how you've done that. In amongst more skyscrapers, towers, there's a bit of IT cluster in here as well. Love this little transit hub action. I love this station again too. The tram and metro one is really sweet. I like seeing this. And that's factored into a metro train convergence that runs parallel with this elevated highway coming out of the city. There we can see a tram about to arrive. Very nice. Very cool. And they will distribute across the line. And then this road takes us back us through some more high density towers. There's a mall over here as well with more wall to wall. Seeing these 1x1 or 2x1 vanilla buildings all the way across the city, Dave, you must be a big fan of these assets. And there's also a little bit of campus work tucked in there as well. I love the little helix pathway. That's really cool. That's we'll have to remember that, won't we? A little kind of double helix path design there for some kind of grander park area. I really like that. Super cool. But oh, look at that. Look at that. Great way to use the stock exchange there, isn't it? He's kept it at level 1 as well. But super, super nice little path designs, pedestrianisation too. A museum across the street. Really sweet. Now that sits as part of his, I guess, secondary major downtown area that we stumbled across, right? And along the waterfront, we have a bit of fishing. The marinas, the ferry stops we saw earlier as well are all down here. And this comes into this another monstrous interchange. Again, that is just immaculately layered. Look at this. So well planned. Couldn't you just sit there forever and just watch this flow? Really, really nice. Great work, Davey. Super sweet. Kind of a clover stack there again, isn't there? The metro going over there too. Absolutely fantastic. We'll check out everything to the right of the highway over here. Let's come down the beachfront. So we've got the street market. We've also got some people heading down to the boat there as well. Is that heading across to the island? I think it is, isn't it? It's busy, isn't it? Really cool. So you've got a nice busy ferry system here taking back in people to your private island. And we'll come down this big pedestrianised beachfront. Lots of palm beaches. Heading into residential. That recessed train line also appears back here as well. The usual collection, nightlife, wall-to-wall green cities seems to be his go-to. He really likes using this sort of stuff, doesn't he? We've got the Sea Fortress on the front with the boat hotel and a little amusement park tucked in there as well with elevated pedestrian pathway and quays all around it. That's a very nice little combination. I like that. It's the first time I've seen that actually. Kind of embanked pedestrian road. Very nice use of the quays there. The Ferris wheel, or the London Eye, sits very prominently across the beachfront there with really nicely panicked pathway designs through the middle of it. Isn't that fun? And really kind of dominates the waterfront here, doesn't it? I love the sunken stations. This one's such a nice asset from, I think it's a, is it a Bad Peanut one, this one? I think it is, isn't it? And then the pedestrian station through here as well. Then we've also got some more high-rise, bit of office space, pedestrianisation kicking in. We love the beachfront, multiple amusement park assets, some light umbrella and parasol detailing as well. Goes a long way on the beach, doesn't it? Really adds more life into it. Then again, more just mental networking. Really sweet. This highway blends seamlessly back into a node-controlled node. We have a fun little design here with more park assets. You got some really nice park spaces across the city as well. Really enjoyed seeing these today. Beach stuff into pitches, more ferry work again. And then we have a big cargo centre here as well, which is factoring in multiple different buildings. We've got the steel plant, plenty of warehouses, the oil refinery, post-processing here as well. More factories, giant warehouses, and then 4 cargo cranes with the shipyard. That's all been moved together with Move It and Anarchy to create a real nice industrial waterfront. I like what you've done here, Davey. Very nice. Kind of drops back where the key kicks in there too. And then a bit of fishing at the foot of this cute custom bridge to round it all off. Isn't that gorgeous? What a view. What a view. Really nice cargo port there. With plenty of train work coming in and out of this. Look at that, right? Super complicated train setups. This then brings us into this next bit. I guess we can kind of tick off this bit that's boxed in by this bit of highway, right? And then we'll get over there gradually. I always find myself wanting to get to the CBD the closer I get to it. I can't even withstand my own teasing. So other than the highway, here out the port, a nice little tight trumpet configuration that takes us into a beautiful centralised varsity sports basketball stadium. with some great designs at the front. The keys here with the stairs and the pathways are great work. More campus assets in here as well. Looks like we're actually in the main campus area now. Oh, and can I see centralized campus main building designs? Yes, I can. And I love it. Isn't that wonderful? Technically, it's not quite centered, but I'm not going to be picky about that. Really nice design, what you've done through here. Having the campus statue centralized as well. You could totally do this in vanilla as well. Really, really nice. And that heads right up to the main building. Lots of bush lining. Campus assets in between. Really, really sweet. Love the football pitch in there as well. And more campus work over here. I always love campuses. And then the School of Medicine. Please get it right. I will get it right one week. Yes, there we go. And today is that week. Finally got one right. There's too many to remember. And then the School of Law just across the plaza as well. Really, really sweet campus setup. I love this area of the city. Love campuses. Over here we have some nightlife, the opposite side of the port. Imagine it's a little bit grungy around here, right? Wall-to-wall shops, clubs and whatnot. Bit of Brooklyn and Queens tucked in near the interchange. They've also got a lot of this work too. This is looking really sweet over here. Expo Centre. And then a mass amount of zoned industry. Look at that. All the smokestacks. With a rail yard. Again, that's been anarchied in. Keys and plenty of networks over it. Looks very just planned and designed, that doesn't it? Really sweet. Then coming into this area, we've got, did it miss anything over here? I don't think, did I? Yes, another golf course. Another golf course is over this side. Again, just an appreciation for all the networks coming through here. You also see the observation tower there as well. More great networks through this bit as well, right? And then more little golf courses. Absolutely wonderful. So many little treats to just stumble across in this city. And then we come into suburbia, into a bit of an old castle ruin with plenty of tents in there as well. Elder care, medical. And then we come into the big industrial district that's got transport hubs in here, power plants, and lots of zoned industry. Before this spills into very much kind of the outer line of suburbia, right? It's got some simple grid patterns going on here with different types of European zoning and just base game vanilla housing. Again, really nice network designs when you zoom and see little intricacies like that. The tram kind of cuts off the road, cuts back across it, and then rejoins it. That's a really nice design there, isn't it? And then we have a big old mall space with lots of car parking. A couple of King Leno's mall buildings over here. Oh, I love that. Isn't that sweet? Little, it's supposed to be like a mansion, I suppose, is it? Like an extremely rich, wealthy house. Maybe like an old historical house, but I love the design done with the pathways there. Yeah, even squeezed in some of the parks there as well, so you're actually getting people active here too. Very nice. And then that brings us up all alongside this major band of highway that really segments this city off, doesn't it? Yeah, the highway really cuts all this up together. It then drops us off at our main bit of the city, where again we can see lots of wind farms over here. We'll head, I guess, through this side, right? So that embanked metro line that we saw a moment ago, when this big laid intersection picks up here, and then heads right through this district, where we've got lots to explore here. Love the design around the tax office and the station here, that's really sweet. Slightly angled metro station, gets lots of points in my eyes. Over through this way we can see some factories, more pitches. Awesome, really love that. It reminds me very much of Phoenix, this, where you're in the Margrid in the city, and then all of a sudden there's just wheat fields sort of next to like metropolitan Phoenix. It's very random, but really cool. I like how you've got this in here, almost like it is actually here to feed the food factory, which is just across the street. Beyond this, across the other side of the metro, we have some mid-century modern, tucked into some more industry. This area of the city is a real amalgamation of different things, isn't it? We've got residential, high-rises, farmland industry, real patchwork bit of city. And up through this way, I like how he's built on the terrain here as well. It doesn't look like he's flattened anything out majorly. He's really respected the topography that comes with the map. Very nice indeed. We have more rail and metro crisscrossing over here as they all head over from those wider networks we saw earlier. These 4 bridges across the water. Which then drops us off at this side of the highway where we have that space observation, observatory, here's what it's called even. With some more unique buildings down here. We've got the art gallery next to the central park. A really nice front park space here actually with the keys. Different zoo assets blended in. Amusement park assets in there as well. More towers. And this all kicks in as just outer line suburbia. More really wonderful key work over here as well, right? Isn't that nice? I loved how I've used these keys throughout the city. Bus station, transit hub over here. It doesn't look overly rammed, which is nice. Not backing up at all. The floating gardens is up here too, and then this is where we pick up that bridge we saw from the massive farming town a bit earlier in the video, and then that heads off into the CBD. Over here we've got water sports, the aquatic centre, another one of those stations with plenty of parking, which is very nice. Also the end of the metro line here as well, that runs all the way back through there, doesn't it, where it terminates in the downtown. Very tasty. It's not overly busy, but still getting used nonetheless. And then there's, again, mix and matches here, low and high density, commercial and nightlife, a real different mix of stuff, isn't it? And then we can start heading, I guess, into this space here, where we have meat and potatoes, yet more insane, just train line work here again too. Super sweet. It is very busy, of course, but it just looks so awesome, doesn't it? So tightly layered into really tight spaces. Coming out this way, we have more elevated pedestrian pathwork on the edge of the city, coming back near those farms that we saw. We've got the Opera House here, which has a very nice design with some bus-only highway present here. Actually, where do you go? Going back up to here, there we go. So there's a little bit of a BRT system in the city. Getting people across lots of networks very quickly by bus. Very nice. A bit of European zoning over here again, mixed in with low density. And a really nice park actually. What's that? 2 tropical gardens with the birch park and the pond. That's a really nice design. I like that. So at the central station over here, or at least the metro monorail train one, is definitely busy. This one's got some serious traffic waiting for it, which is very nice. Favorite asset in the game, this probably, especially transport assets. It's so satisfying to watch everyone scurry around this, isn't it? So this is getting plenty of use, multiple trains, and look at that, isn't that great? Cargo trains bypassing while the passenger trains come through. So sweet, you could watch that forever. Super nice. This big train corridor cuts right through the middle of the city. Into and around the main CBD, which also has a massive sunken highway going through it. With some really interesting intersection designs there actually. It's a single point urban, but it's split onto a couplet, so you can actually not get across to the side. But it looks very nice, doesn't it? This bridge also comes out from the CBD we were in earlier, with the metro coming through, sorry, the monorail coming through the suspension arches. This is where this drops off. And the skyline is really nice, made up of our main skyscraper content creator pack assets. There's also IT cluster as part of the skyline here too. Let's just take a little fly down the highway, shall we? And we'll discover the cathedral plentitude. There's also generic industry in here as well. You've done an excellent job of bringing together lots of different styles of district that I otherwise wouldn't have ever put together. And that's something the city does really well. Yes, cathedral plentitude, what have we done with it? Big central design. Oh, I love that. Look at that node controller work on the pathways. That's so cool. That's really nice. I love that. Yeah, centralised with park space out the front. Definitely one of the more difficult assets to use, that one, but definitely not a horrendous way to use it. The academic library is in here as well. We've got the aquarium with wall-to-wall down on the waterfront. With this as well, this is very imperative. I've seen this before. That's gorgeous. So using the content creator road almost as though these are kind of like old industrial sort of holdings, if you like, under the road. I really, really like that. Super cool. That heads all the way through here. You're really using the road network there to kind of detail the network, aren't you? Great stuff. That continues all the way down there as well, before it heads back into the highway interchange by the Sunset Harbour Airport we saw earlier. This side of the city, more financial offices, campus. Ziggurat Garden at the front of the Deluxe Hotel is a good choice. Again, this is very much cathedral plentitude, isn't it? It's a hard one to use, the Ziggurat. This then spills back into his skyline where there's more single point urban interchanges. And then we have the other half of the skyline here, which is all very tightly boxed in. If you want kind of a wider view of the downtown road network, you can get a good sense of it there, right? Really sweet. And then we have the mall over here as well, which is a really nice inclusion as part of the downtown, actually. You can imagine sort of gazing through the skylight, can't you? There's the blimp. Knew they were around somewhere. Is that landing? It is landing. It lands next to the mall. There you go. The asset that we never see on the public transport method that we never use, the blimp. There it is, everyone, in all its glory. But I love the CBD. Coming back toward the central train station, there's more towers, green cities, residential, IT cluster, service buildings all tucked in here again as well. I really love how the highway, especially from this interchange, which again is just another wonderful bit of engineering. I really love this cut through here, how it just cuts right through the heart of the city like this. Super nice, very American. I can see the Los Angeles inspiration in particular here. I know in your submission you mentioned it was GTA, LA and Imperator inspired from the whole build, so super cool. I've also just noticed that little pathwork design there as well. Isn't that gorgeous? God, that's cool. I feel like I need to really up my pathwork. Davey really knows how to use the pathways, and really nice design that. Then there's also a little bit of a zoo tucked in by the waterfront here as well that I didn't notice. Where that couplet picks up against. Look at all the road engineering through here. Really nice use of node controller. You can tell definitely he enjoys using this mod, doesn't he? And then that tram is going underground somewhere. Where do you come from? You come from over here, okay. Yeah, so that waterfront tram by the arches we were just at, that's where that emerges from, isn't it? Really sweet. So super nice skyline, great selection of assets. It's not overly done either, I don't think. I think sometimes you can get too tower heavy, something I'm guilty of quite often. But yeah, it's tasteful. Science Centre tucked in here as well. Really, really sweet. Very nice. And even financial districts next to industry. All makes up part of, all in all, what is a really quite tremendous build. Now David also said that Lavender City gets its name from the kind of the morning mists, if you like, which should be a bit of a sort of lavendery purple haze as the city sort of wakes up from. Yeah, you can see, can't you? So this is due to his LUT and his theme and whatnot. It does have that lavender look to it, doesn't it? Super nice. And I guess I should really start showcasing the city showcases at night as well. A really tremendous build, Davey. Lavender City is absolutely gorgeous, and let's get a fly view of this highway through the city at night, right? I'll leave cinematics at the end as well, don't worry. We always do. But yeah, really, really wonderful. Again, it's up there, I think, with probably some of the top 5 cities we've had feature on City Showcase. I know I really enjoyed last week's, and the week before that was even great as well. So you guys are really, really kind of just setting the bar here for outstanding city building. So thank you so much, Davey, for submitting Lavender City. If you want to have your city feature in the next episode, you know what to do. Check out the link to the Google form down below, fill it out, and I will do my utmost best to get your city shown and featured in this series. Thank you so much for continuing to enjoy it. It's a pleasure just to see how much you guys are enjoying this City Showcase series, so I'm really happy to record them as long as you guys enjoy them. Massive shout out to our patrons that support the channel, with a roll call to our Golden Eggs, Andrew Perez, Louis Adlin, Phoenix MD, Oh Hey Casino, and Bad Wolfo. You are absolute heroes of the people. If you want to get involved in that, links below to Patreon, Instant Gaming, best ways to support the channel. Especially Instant Gaming, if you're missing any of the DLCs you've seen using these city showcases, you can get them for dirt cheap now, and it does help directly support the channel. But a big round of applause to Davey for this one. Simply superb. Thank you for sending it, mate. I'm sure I've missed something. Otherwise, let's thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.